new little segment. Huge shout out to D-Rock and Slifer. We were talking backstage, came up with this concept, so we're gonna roll with it because I love it. And so far, it's been picking up a little bit. We called it the Everyday Archive Timeless Collectibles, and what it's going to be is every week we're always celebrating the new stuff, what's coming out, this and that, spending money, and I think now's a time where you can look back and I really appreciate some of the older pieces that have been out for a while, and you can actually pick up at a reasonable price, some of them at least. But really go just look back and appreciate, some of the pieces that were really hits back in the day, really well done, well sculpted, painted, and just appreciate. So it's gonna be like the time capsule of collecting. And the first piece that we're going to be looking at this week, or the first piece we're going to be adding to the archive, is, I don't know if you guys remember this, baby. We're going back 2009. Is the Sideshow Abomination Premium Format. Tell me if you guys remember this piece. Edition size on this, the exclusive was 350, and on the regular was 500. And it was sculpted by Tony Cipriano. Retailed for $4.99 back in 2009, but this was a monster of a piece. Here are some of the wow, don't know what happened there. Here are some of the hand sculpted. The way where you the blood, sweat, and tears. It took months to get pieces like this done. Hand sculpted.
What was the edition size again?
That's good.
350 for the exclusive, 500 for the regular.
Wow.
And this was essentially. Hold on, someone just.
Is it the hydrant?
It's the fire hydrant, correct?
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. All right.
Right on time, Slifer. What's going on, man?
What's up, Slifer?
Good to see you.
What's up?
Hope you're doing well, man. We just literally kickstarted. I said right on time. We just kickstarted the archive. So, Abomination being the first week. So, like we were saying, premium format, $4.99 retail for, $350 for the exclusive, $500 for the regular, and Tony Cipriani is the sculptor behind it. But this was kind of what it paired with, right? It was the OG Hulk. Gray or green, whichever way you wanted to go. But these are official. These were like Sideshow photos, official Sideshow photos that they shared back in the day. And here he is, all colored up, just a beast.
I like his hands digging into the rock.
Yep,
that's cool.
I got a close-up photo of that.
It's neat. Really good.
It's a great looking piece. This piece still looks good, man. How many years later it still looks good.
I've got some really old issues of I've got his first appearance and stuff from Tales to Astonish. And this is basically what he looked like back then. I mean, this is like pretty much the look of Abomination originally. Very big, like the fin ears and stuff.
That was the exclusive, the fire hydrant. This is what the regular looked like.
The good old fire hydrant.
I still want this piece.
It looks good, and this was 16 years ago. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen? I never see these for sale.
You
see the Hulk for sale. I never see these pieces for sale.
I've seen a couple, but they go for good. Like there's one on eBay for $2,000, but you don't see them. You don't see them come up often.
Yeah, I think the best deal I ever saw was that they were actually selling them together, a Green Hulk and this together, for like $4.38, something like that on eBay.
I call like just I don't know, man.
Is that mixed media?
No, the shorts are, yes.
Yeah, okay.
This just hits home because that's the year I got into statue collecting, was 2008, 2009, and I remember seeing this and the hype around it.
Yeah, this would look good with your Dr. Doom.
This is
Mm.
This next photo.
That
looks great.
The portrait, yeah. This next photo really, really hits the nostalgia for me. This was the 2009 SDCC, where Sideshow was at SDCC. And if you got the Olivetti Venom, the comic cat, with the back in black Spidey in the background as well. And then all the way on the right, you can see the Hellboy PF.
Is that Hellboy? Yeah.
Hellboy. I have that baby. Oh man, these were like, and you can see the
Was
bust.
there a bust too? Yeah.
There's
I
a
can see,
bust
there's
right
a
there,
Vader
the left.
bust too with the helmet
And
on.
the Vader bust. Yeah, man.
That's cool.
Oh man, these were easy to forget these days. But this is where it was at.
It looks great.
He's got a little bit of like a scroll chin. I wonder, I can't remember if that, I kind of want to grab one of my issues and look and see if that was how they drew him. Or if this was a touch he added.
Let me come over here. Show you a quick.
John, is that the life-size Vader bust back there?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had that piece.
Did you? Okay.
I did, and a couple of years, well, it's probably been about 6-7 years ago. I sold it to Randy Go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And he still hasn't?
I don't know.
You
Don't
should
know
give
if
him a shout.
Uh,
Hey, I need to pick it up. Pick it back up. It makes
You want it
me-
again, Alan?
Man, you know, sometimes because I was pretty heavy into Star Wars at the time, but there's times that I kind of miss the Star Wars pieces, especially now that PCS came out with that mall. I really like that mall.
Did you order it already or no?
I didn't order it only because I don't want to start another line. I sure don't want to go down Star Wars rabbit hole.
Alan, which one? The silicone?
Yeah, that's the one I would like to get. Yeah.
So this was a kind of a video I found from years ago. Look
Wow.
at this. Think of
This
it,
is nice.
2009. Look at the size of this. No competition. There's no Prime 1. Big pieces like you're seeing in 1/3. There's a lot of customs, of course. You could find custom pieces. But this is Sideshow running the show. And you get a piece this massive. It's
Yeah, seeing pictures of statues doesn't compare when you actually see it like this, right? Like in somebody's house or holding the thing
Yeah.
or showing it, you know, an unboxing, you know, because I saw the pictures and I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. But when you put this video on, I said, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Look,
this
I mean,
is-
Hand
this is
sculpted.
nice.
the paint
Yeah.
app.
Yep.
This is nice.
Look at the eyes, man. Look at the eyes and the mouth.
Hey, so I went and got my issue.
okay.
All that stuff is accurate. The chin, the shorts, they didn't color. They didn't color them a different color when they did the color phase. But this is his first cover appearance, and it's all accurate. The scroll chin and everything.
Those eyes don't look like
Pretty cool.
stickers. I'll tell
Two
you that.
toes. He's got the two toes.
Two
He's got
toes,
the shorts. He's got the scroll chin with the lines,
Mm-hmm.
the big ears. Yeah, so it's really accurate. Yeah.
Tony's saying my Sideshow Wolf Predator still looks good. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but this is why.
Look
I
at the
don't
teeth, man.
Look at the teeth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They look good.
Just-
This is a good looking piece.
Even the
I mean-
inner ear.
I mean, can we say like paint has definitely come a long way? Yes.
Mhm.
You know, when you look at this piece like this, but this is still looks good. Like for Sideshow at that time, this is painted better than some of their newer pieces. So
But that's the whole, and that's why I think they're held to such a high standard because it's look what they were doing back in the day. $4.99.
I think they care. I think they might have cared a little more. And I think there wasn't so much competition. So it's not like you're
Okay.
rushing to get things out as much. So
But
You
the
could take
scaling,
your time on the
Making
piece.
less too.
the
Yeah,
scaling
you're
on
making
the skin, and to think that that's all done by hand.
Look in the ear
Right.
canal. Look in the ear canal. Like that's
Mhm.
It's wild. Shout out to BMR Productions for them doing that.
Just seeing that video was 11 years ago.
11 years ago, guys. 11 years.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I miss those days of collecting, to be frank. To be a little I know it's like, and we always say like back then you wish you had more choices, more options, more things. But I think we're at the point where we have so many options. Now take a look back. Do you like having all the options that we have? 10 different Batmans, 10 different Jokers, or go back and you had a handful of a selection, or two main companies? I don't know. I think it's best. There's good and bad on both. Having an abundance of characters and lots of competition, and then just having the almost like a monopoly with a one company. There's good and bad in both.
There's also though, like you're kind of what you're saying. I think of some people call that halcyon days. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that term, but halcyon days are like the best days of something when it like you remember the best positive experience of them. To me, this is like it's that time period where they're still doing everything by hand, so you still have that very handmade thing. It's hand sculpted, it's hand painted, right? You haven't quite got to the point where you're making so many different things that now it's just a numbers game. How many can we make of this? How many can we make of that? How many can we pump out this quarter? What's our quarter? It's more like you still have the heart. Like there's certain points in time where you can tell there's just more heart and more like there's still pieces that come out that have like that, especially with certain sculptors and stuff if they really are into it. But there's something to say for that. If you catch a company or if you catch somebody before they get big or before they take off, it becomes more about the business and it's more about the product and not actually a product. It's like there's a love in there of putting it together and the art. There's still when somebody's still about the art. So I feel that with like this piece.
It's what I think it is with some of these pieces is that it's just they look different. They just look different. They got a different vibe to them. I think that's why I think that Hulk stands the test of time. Like people still like that Hulk. It still commands money. It's just the style, like just the era it came out in. People just go, "Hey man, like this piece always will look good," even though I'm sure the LBS Hulk is like superior in every way. Something about that piece just has it just checks certain boxes for.
There's always a spot on the heart for that piece.
Yeah, like, and then you look at another piece like this. This was kind of like in the same era. It just you could see the trend. Like, yeah, the bases weren't super crazy elaborate, but I mean, look at him. He looks incredible. Like,
and
if you had a painter today paint this piece, it would still look amazing. Like the sculpt, everything just is. It still looks good.
It just it brings up the question: is you see a lot of collectors, and not to say that there's anything wrong with it, but the turnover rate with pieces, it's like it's just continuously. Yeah. You see both in 1/6 and in statues, where it's continuously just buy sell to get the newest.
Pumping out the product and never taking the time to finish to do it well. They just want to crank it out.
Well, I think
also buying into the FOMO and the marketing, they're just kind of
also it was the luxury that you didn't have to compete with like 20 other statue companies pieces. Yeah, because like when I was first like getting into the statue pieces, even if they were out there, I didn't know about anyone other than Sideshow and PCS because when they were still kind of pop culture shop, they were kind of encapsulated with the Inside Show, but I didn't really. Maybe I knew of some Prime One, but I didn't know about like Queen Studios, XM until I really started getting into it. So they had that luxury of they were kind of the only people in the game. So now when you got like 10 other companies on top of customs that are pumping out pieces, you can't sit there and even if technology hadn't changed to these things being mass produced, they could never sit there and really hand sculpt and put in the time and the detail like that. Not saying that they don't or any of the companies don't do a great job now. It's just that with supply and demand and competition, you got to crank them out.
Yep.
Oh, the memories this unlocks though. God damn.
And what was the ES? Do we remember? I know it was
350 for the exclusive and 500 for the regular. So 750 total.
It's a healthy amount too. It's not that bad. That's nice. Nice. You would think you'd see it a little bit more, but no, not at all.
No.
Because I think no one would I wouldn't sell this unless I absolutely had to. So I'm thinking if someone has that, they're not parting with it.
Vega, you have the if I'm not mistaken, the Sideshow what's that guy? Oh my god, Sentinel, correct?
Yep.
And that's a piece that you appreciate in the collection, right? Would you say timeless?
Yeah, I think so. And I think a part of what makes it timeless is, even though this is not something that I would typically say I look for in statues, it is so just, I think the best way to describe it is simply designed, but what I mean by that is not necessarily in the artistic approach, but in the reference. It is a simply done sentinel. It is not necessarily a sentinel that is based on any particular run or anything like that. It's you look at it and you know it's a sentinel. You didn't have to do anything fancy with it. You didn't have to create this big base. You didn't have to make it do anything crazy. You'll look at it and it just captures the essence of what a sentinel is, in the same way that I think this Abomination just captures the essence of what this character was. It doesn't need to appeal in any other way than just that.
Yep.
And I think that, having that hand, I don't know if the Sentinel was hand sculpted. I don't think it was. I think a lot of it, or most of it, was done digitally. But when I think of hand sculpted, just the art of hand sculpting something, I think of, that precision that is coming from the human mind, right? It's coming from the human drive to create in shapes and patterns and textures. And there is something just so intimate and easy to connect to when it comes to that. Not that you can't connect to things that are sculpted digitally. I'm just saying, when it comes to this idea of what timeless is, those are the kinds of things that come to my mind. And I was not a part of this generation of collecting. I did not get into statues, really look at my first large scale statue till 2016, 2017.
Oh, okay. You know what I'm noticing here in this photo? His
on the
hand,
base.
exactly, is not dug in.
The prototype. This is before they decided.
Yeah.
What the route they decided to go. Yeah. I think
because it's almost like he's going to pick that up part of the street and throw it or something. Yeah, and I think
that was a good direction to do that. Yeah.
I want to throw one more word out while you guys are talking. I keep thinking of the word reverence. They have great reverence for the source material still at this point, where a lot of people like when you deviate from it. I know particularly Vega likes XM's approach, or did like the XM approach that was kind of getting the essence of a character, but getting more realism out of it and not as flat comic booky and stuff like that for certain characters. I think that at this point in time, there's still kind of that Bowen reverence for the material, the original source material. And that also creates more simplified designs, but also just it feels right. I don't know how to explain that any other way. You feel it's correct. Even before I grabbed that issue, I was like, yeah, I think this is basically exactly what the essence of Abomination. This is it, the original concept and the original.
Well, I think the way you're describing it too, I think that's what helps a piece like this just continue, right? Again, to use the word again, timeless.
It's a test of time thing. Yeah, it's timeless.
Right, right. But keeping it to the source material so much, right? This is not an Abomination that existed only during a certain time. Like, this was Abomination. This was the creation of this character, right? I think of this in opposition to buying a movie-based piece. That is capturing a very specific time, and there are how many other movie versions of characters that come out. Yes, some rise above others, but I think that those just feel so temporary for me. This doesn't feel temporary.
Well, and you're also with those pieces capturing a version of art of a piece of a character that already existed, or a design that already existed, whether they change this or change that. Oh, this is the original intent, right? Because of like I said, the reverence of it being so accurate. I mean, that's his second appearance. This is the second appearance in this issue. He's not on the cover of the first appearance, otherwise I would have grabbed it. But just looking at that, I mean, yeah, the art's it's not like current art, but you get all the points.
Yeah.
And the statue hits all the points like dead on. Just like there's people that in art might not put enough care in to go, I want to make sure that jaw has that scroll look. That's why I looked it up, because I was like, did he have that scroll jaw or that Thanos jaw or whatever you would call it, where they got the lines? That's a thing that Marvel did for certain characters. I couldn't remember. Just the fact that the person who sculpted this looked at some of these issues. They had to. You wouldn't have got details like that, right? The 2 toes instead of like 3, he's got 3 fingers. There's certain things, not counting the thumb, but there's certain things that like are just captured. The little shorts. I mean, it's reverence. It's a reverence for the source.
Tony says I almost bought this piece for 800, the exclusive, a while back and passed.
Wow, I would have grabbed it for 800. I've never seen it that cheap ever, anywhere near it.
So this is our first addition to the archive. We'll lock it away in the vault and maybe revisit it in a couple of years.
Maybe Sideshow revisit it.
Maybe Sideshow revisit it. Maybe we'll revisit it and one of us will have it in the collection. Who knows?
Maybe.
But
you never know.
That'd be cool. Stay tuned for next Monday. We'll let you guys know what the next statue will be in the Everyday Archive. Again, appreciate you, D-Rock Slifer. This is I think this is going to be something cool. Kind of opening up, like I said, opening up a time capsule, right? And
some people never seen this piece.
Bro, when I pulled up these con photos, I was like, shit. I remember being a teenager and I would grab my computer, my laptop, sit in the backyard and just go on the forums. And when it was SDCC, you wouldn't bother me. Like, it would be all the coverage, the hot toys that, oh man. Anyways, we'll put the pin in there. But we'll see what we have next week. Appreciate you guys.